From Wall Street to Main Street to help small business owners have the same capital as corporate America and give them the same resources as a larger company. We cover business funding, business credit, scaling, business consulting, and much more. Check out the website at shieldadvisorygroup.com. Welcome to the show, The Liquid Lunch Project.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Liquid Lunch Project. I am Matthew R. Meehan alongside my partner, the Professor Luigi Rosabianca. What's on tap today, Lou?
Matt, there is nothing better for the Liquid Lunch Project than someone that has been getting and then gives. That get-give relationship in small business is nothing better. And today, to give us the inner secrets, he's going to walk us into the inner sanctum, Steve Buzogany. Steve, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me, guys. I'm excited to be here.
Well, look, you're a real estate titan. So we're not even going to talk about real estate for now. We want to know, what is the appreciation advocate?
So if I were to put it simply in one sentence, we are a company that uses gift giving to generate referrals for small businesses. So that's about as simple as it gets. It's just getting referrals for small businesses using gifts.
So Matt and I have a small business. We want to get some referrals. How do we work with the appreciation advocate?
Honestly, the first thing you do is you just send me an email, and we'll set up a time to talk, and we'll kind of go over what your needs are, who your ideal clients are, what they are, how many you have, and who your top 20% are. And then once we put that all together for you, I'll punch in a bunch of numbers on my end, and then we'll put it into our formulas over here, determine your budget, and then put together a whole plan for you for the next 12 months. And then you can decide whether you want to do it in-house at yourself. You can execute it yourself. Or if you just said, you know what, I don't got time for this, you guys do it for me and you execute it for me. And then you can pay us to do that too. And then now you really don't have to do anything. You just have to, pick up the nice warm phone calls you get from your clients saying how much they appreciate and thank you and can't wait to tell all of their family members and friends about you.
So help us understand this a little deeper. Are you a marketing partner for service providers?
Basically, yeah. So basically, a lot of people, what they'll do is they want to remain top of mind. I hear that and in marketing, as a marketing expert, people always say it's all about the impressions, this, that, and the other thing. And the problem is with the gift giving and appreciation that a lot of corporate size companies will do, or even small businesses, is they'll give a bunch of swag. They'll give a bunch of T-shirts, mugs, stuff with pens, notebooks or notepads with their logo on it. None of that is actually a gift. It's all just promo. And there's a very stark difference between a promo item and a gift. Whereas all of those things also only make one impression. And I can talk about the three major problems with gift giving. And those things, basically, because they only make one impression, you're not top of mind. And as a small business professional, you're supposed to be top of mind. That's how you get referrals, by being top of mind. So the first problem of the three big problems with gift giving is that they make one impression. The second big problem is that impression is usually negative or neutral. So like when you give somebody, like for me, the stereotypical real estate agent gift is, let me give you a bottle of champagne after you buy your house. And it's like, that makes one impression. It's like $20 to $50. Maybe if you go high end, you spend a couple $100. It doesn't matter. You just close the commission worth 4 or 5 figures, and you're going to give them a couple $100 for one bottle of wine. It's going to be neutral or negative. Or even, if you have a client that's paying you $50,000 a year and you give them a $25 Amazon gift card at the end of the year to say thanks during the holidays, it's like, it's not going to land really well either. They're going to judge you, and it's going to be a negative judgment. And then that leads kind of right into the third problem, is that the whole feedback loop on gift giving from business to business or business to consumer is a complete massive lie. And I say that because people lie about the real feelings regarding a gift. No one's ever going to tell you. They're not going to go, hey, Luigi, just so you know, this gift absolutely sucks. So you should take this home and shove it up your, what. Like, no one's going to say that to you. What they're going to say is like, oh my God, thanks so much. This is so great. You shouldn't have. Oh my God, thank you.
You're telling me small business owners don't realize that stress balls and cheap pens just end up in the garbage?
Well, you would think, but then they do it anyway. Like, how many conferences have I been to? I can tell you, I have mortgage guys when I in real estate banging on my door. They want my business. They want me to use them as a lender. And I get mugs in the mail all the time, get these Yeti cups and stuff. Now, Yeti's great product. except when it comes with their logo on it. I don't give a crap about your company, and nobody else does. Like, nobody cares about you. They care about themselves. That's how people are. We're all wired to care about ourselves.
So
like,
when Matt and I met years ago in the lower valley of lower Manhattan, there was this old tradition where you would take someone out to a dinner, maybe take them to a Rangers game or a Giants game. Sorry, Philly fan. But
yeah,
that was a big tradition back then because you gave someone an experience, right? Because at the end of the day, all this stuff is junk. I mean, look, t-shirts could be nice and polos are nice, but it's just junk. I mean, I use it to wash my car with.
You could take someone to the Super Bowl. It's still only one impression. You just paid $10,000 for one impression. Now, as a marketing expert, you're going to be like, why the hell would anybody, from a marketing perspective, a business owner would look at that and see, like, what the hell are we doing? We paid $10,000 for one impression.
So what are some strategies, some things that you guys do over there that are different? Give us an idea.
So we have like 6 criteria that I can go through them real quick that make a good gift. And I'll actually show you real quick so like, for example, I have I'm saying thank you to somebody and they had me for an hour of their time. And she owns a marketing company. So I made a notepad for her with her name on it and her company. I got another guy, he's a marketing coach, and I got him a booklet, and he loves Star Wars. So I got him a book. I made up the Marketing Jedi, and I put his name on it. So like things like that, like they're custom gifts, and they're about them. They last. Every time they pick up those notebooks, they're going to think of me. And that's just, those are easy gifts. Like we do other stuff too. Like we can do custom picture frames the size of, like mass that'll cover up a whole wall. We've done custom shoes for babies and things like all kinds of crazy stuff. So Cutco knives are fantastic. You get them engraved with your client's name on it or a quote they like, things like that last, that have use. And even just real quick to go through those 6 criteria, what make a good gift. Like, and I'll run through these because I don't want to make it take up the whole episode here. But like,
no, basically it's important. It's important for small business owners, please.
Okay, all right. Well, the first is basically the focus of the gift has to be on the recipient, not the giver. Because if it's about the giver, it's a promo item. If it's about the recipient, it's an actual gift. Then it has to be a high quality item, so something that's going to last. It's remember, and when I say high quality, the reason I say that is because the gift itself is a symbol of the relationship that you have with another person. So when you give them a cheap gift, you're telling them, intentionally or unintentionally, you're telling them, hey, this is what I think of the relationship. And just so you know, whether you're telling them intentionally or unintentionally, it will be received as such. So that's why you always want to use a high quality gift. Third, you want to make it personalized. If you can't get it engraved or whatever, I mean, I recommend getting engraved or etched into it or what their name or whatever, something important to them, if you can. But if not, maybe, get their favorite color or get something that it makes it unique to them, so that they can't just, it shouldn't be something they can just go on Amazon and buy. And then fourth would be a deep emotional impact, anything that people make decisions emotionally and justify logically. So if you can tug on the heartstrings, that's always going to give you an advantage in terms of making an impact and making a strong impression, and one that lasts and keeps you top of mind. And then the next one kind of goes hand in hand with high quality. The gift has to have staying power. So something that they're going to use, something that they're going to that's going to be seen or kept or hung up in the house somewhere, something that will make the repetitive impression day in and day out for you when you're not there. And then lastly, it has to build a connection. Like, let's not forget the basics here. That the entire reason we give people gifts is to build upon or establish a new relationship. So every gift should be given with a personal note of some kind, a handwritten personal note, or if you can attach a video to it in some manner, maybe like with a USB or something. Any kind of personal touch makes it shows that you care and you went the extra mile.
Now, Steve, what's your opinion about timing? Do you give a gift such as this after a big transaction, a big closing, or do you give it during year-end, Christmas time? What's your take on timing, please? So
for both of those examples, I typically say no. Definitely not in December. The month of December, we actually don't allow our clients to give any gifts at all. Because our job as a marketing company to help these people get more referrals is to make them stand out and be top of mind. In December, everybody's giving gifts. Everybody's got 1,400 Christmas cards on their countertops. If you give a gift, you're just going to be in with the muck and you're not going to stand out. So December's just off limits. Like after Thanksgiving, you're done. Like we're done sending gifts for the year. We'll start planning out the first quarter and stuff, but December, it's done. The best gifts in terms of timing are ones that show up on random days, like July 23rd. Like there's like nothing there for most people. Like, but the fact that you might get something on July 23rd from your accountant or your attorney or whatever, that's pretty cool. Like I used to do that. I did my gifts. So when I was in real estate, I gave my clients some Cutco cutlery prior to Thanksgiving because I knew it's a great gift. It's a high quality gift. It's going to be engraved with their name on, and most likely going to use that item at the Thanksgiving table with all their family around. So that, and they're going to use it for every day afterward. But I just know that it would probably have a more immediate impact. One, it's a good gift. It's about them. It's something, it shows them I care because I do, because I wouldn't have bought Cutco if I didn't care. And then it's going to make impact on them and the people around them.
So Steve, how'd you go from the world of real estate to the world of gifting? It's not exactly a natural transition. Not normally, but for me, it was very natural. So for me, I'm more of an introvert, and I'm not like super introverted where like I want to go out into the woods and hang out by myself for, months at a time. But like, I'm not going to live under a rock, but like, I do enjoy human interaction. I just can't, I'm not one of those guys that can make a phone call and just be like, hey, how are you? And just calling to catch up. Just wanted to talk to you. Like, I can't do that. And I'm not very good at random sales call, like cold calling makes my soul burn inside. So I actually can't just call people and like chit chat. I'm terrible with chit chat. Like I've got to have a mission and a reason to talk to people. And like, I like to just kind of, chit chat with people. And then at the end of the call, like, by the way, do you know anyone who's looking to make a move? Then it sounds like I only called because I was trying to get a referral. And that sounds and feels really gross. Like I need a shower afterward. And what I would do instead of that is I would send gifts ahead of the call. And I would use that gift to kind of break the ice and melt the ice entirely. And then I would call behind the gift, and just because, hey, look, I just want to let you know I really appreciate you in my life. And I wanted to kind of do something randomly nice for you. So I wanted to see that you got the gift I sent you. And the answer is always like, oh my God, yes, I love the gift. It was so great. You're amazing. Thanks so much. And then of course they know I was in real estate. So the question inevitably would always come, so how's the market? How's things been? And now it's an organic conversation. They've opened the door for me to talk about business, and I don't have to be a sleazy salesperson about it. And it was just like, oh, well, the market's great. What's going on with you? You guys making moves? Like, where are you guys? I know you guys are pregnant now. What's going on? Or, how's things? Oh, yeah, we are pregnant. We were just thinking about calling you the other day. Fantastic. Well, what do you need? Things like that. That conversation happened all the time. The reason I could just shoot from the hip. What's the best gift you've ever gotten?
I have the most impactful gift was actually a piece of Cutco, to be honest with you. I was 8 years ago, I was given a pair of Cutco scissors with my name engraved on it. And it changed the entire way I was gifting, because I was gifting with what normal people do, with put my promo items and things, put my logo on things, everything was about me, and I would just give it to people. And I was like, why is this never working? And then somebody gave me a gift, a mentor of mine, and he said, and it came with Cutco, and it had my last name, not his, engraved all on the whole side of the scissors. And I'm like, I still have those scissors today. They're still my favorite pair of scissors. And I'm here on a podcast talking about these freaking scissors.
Hold on, Steve. Hold on. When did you start your gifting company?
I started it at the beginning of 2022. So it's a newer company.
Do you think those scissors was the catalyst for this transition from real estate to gifting?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it took my real estate career from mediocre to awesome. And then it was just like, wow. And then after I started getting referrals and I was operating my business at 73% referral, a lot of the other agents were like, what's going on with this? How are you doing this? And I would tell them, like, well, I'm just giving gifts to people and making it about them. And they were like, wow, that sounds like a lot of work. And people were like, I don't have time for that. And I was like, okay, great. And enough people said it to the point where I was like, you know what? I'll do that for you and you can pay me. And that's how appreciation I think got started.
Steve, I know what you mean, man. Sometimes gifts change your life. I have a dear partner who gifted myself and my wife this beautiful cheese board. I mean, this cheese board's got like side compartments with like the knife and the cheese cutters. I mean, it's like a work of art. I mean, this thing was made by some sort of carpenter from the 1800s, the same guy that made Stradivarius, right? So now Tina, my wife, all she wants to do is eat cheese because she wants to put it on this beautiful presentation board.
Yeah,
I find myself eating cheese like 4 times a week now because of Matt and his wife. So yes,
that's awesome. Feeling. It's super cool. I mean, we just got in the mail earlier this month. I forget what day it came in, but my aunt sent me a gift because the Phillies just went to the World Series. I hope you guys enjoyed that, by the way. So I know you guys are.
Wait, hold on a second. The Phillies went to the World Series, and now the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and the Philadelphia Union were in the MLS final as well. So it's a good day. It's good in Philly sports right now.
Matt, the fix is in, bro. The fix is in. Something's going on here.
Right. So, but basically, what happens is somebody, my aunt sent us a baseball bat that was used by the Phillies and has Bryce Harper's autograph etched into the side of it. It's not his actual autograph, but like they basically got a real MLB bat and carved a hole into it where now you can drink beer out of a baseball bat that the Phillies actually use. So like that's a really cool gift. So I think you can do all kinds of cool stuff with that. I mean, it's really fascinating. What we've been able to do.
One thing we used to do when I worked on Wall Street was we would actually send gifts to clients' kids on their birthday. Right.
That's a huge thing.
If you want it to be impactful, nobody really cares about themselves. But if you send their kids something,
or
right?
Their pet.
Or the pet. Well, yeah, we never did a pet, but the kids. Sometimes we would send gifts out and clients wouldn't even acknowledge it.
Yeah, that happens. That does happen. Yeah. It's fascinating. You find out like it is absolutely fascinating how many people do not say thank you, but the people that do, they're really grateful. So the thing is, what I've also learned in this business is that, and this is both in real estate and with Appreciation Advocate, it's like, if you keep giving on people, not everybody's going to be Paul Revere, who goes out and takes a picture of whatever you sent them and puts it on social media and tells the whole world about how awesome you are. Not everybody's going to be like that. Some may just text you. Some may not say anything at all. But I know that just from personal experience, that if you are consistent with the behavior, then your results will be consistent, regardless of what anybody else does. You have to be consistent. The results will be consistent.
So what is the best gift that you've actually sent out for a client? Like something interesting. Like I don't like cheese boards are cool. Right. Luigi loves his cheese board, but I've got other gifts. Like somebody sent me a piece of beef jerky with my name engraved on it saying thank you. That was pretty cool. It was a small, simple gift. I'm like, whoa.
It's hilarious. Yeah. That's awesome. So the best gift I sent out, I sent out one time to I was actually not, it's not somebody I actually know. It was something I use gifts also to get in touch with people that they can't get in touch with. It's like almost like a prospecting tool as well. So I sent out, I know, one of my mentors actually, he was going through a tough period of time. And I, cause he puts it on social media. So I knew, and then I created a complete picture, and like those pictures that are made of pictures, like there's always like those little circles in the background. Yeah. Like that's basically, so I basically created this image, and then I use all of these little pictures in the background where all of the lives that he impacted positively. And I created all of that to make one big image that represented something that's extremely significant to him. And I sent him the gift. So we just recently sent that out. So that was just we just kind of bested our last one. So I think delivery is expected on Monday. So we'll see how it goes.
Let's see if he acknowledges it.
Yeah. I'll hit you guys up and let you know how it goes.
That's a pretty cool, thoughtful gift.
Yeah, we do some cool stuff. I mean, like it's all kinds of fun stuff. I mean, one time we had a woman who was a runner, and the guy was he's a shoe freak. He just loves shoes. So we actually got custom made for they were about to have a baby. So I had custom made a pair of Nike shoes for the baby. So like that was a kind of cool thing. So every time they had plans of having more kids, so they could just basically use these Nike shoes. They were obsessed with them. They were like, these are the coolest things ever. And the baby's got Nikes on, so it's like that's pretty cool.
So how does somebody engage with you? Like, do you walk them through these ideas? Do you give them ideas? What questions do you ask? Because some people.
You just muted yourself, man. I think I can't.
We just lost my partner, but while he gets his sound back on, Steve, I wanted to share with you a funny anecdote that I just remembered. About 20 years ago, a client gave me a really funny, witty, charming gift. I'm a big soccer fan. The other football. Yeah. And my team of choice is Juventus. Now, in the history of Juventus, I've loved every single player except for one. I'm not going to say his name, but he was a little bit of an egomaniac. And so what did this client do? He got me an autographed jersey of the Juventus jersey with that player's autograph.
Of course he would, yeah.
Which I thought was hysterical. I still have it hanging in the office closet, so it must mean something.
Yeah, of course. And you're going to remember it, and you're never going to forget it. I mean, we've had some funny things that as gag gifts come through, that ideas, but we've never actually implemented them because some of them are pretty R-rated. And it's like, you don't want to do that, but they're hilarious. Like the whole gifting thing is hilarious. And then I know Matt's still trying to figure out his microphone, but I remember he was saying to answer his question about like how people kind of get started with the whole process and what questions we ask and stuff like that. So to answer his question, basically what people do is you just kind of come to me and you tell me like how many gifts, how big is your database? And then it's like, okay, who's the top 20% of that? And that's what we're going to focus on, because some people have some databases that are like, 200 plus, or 2000 plus. So sure. Like to go to invest, to buy a gift for all 2000 would be a massive expense and almost a useless expense. So we focus on the top 20% because those people have bought into you the hardest. And those are the people you want to use just put your resources into, because they already know you, like you, and trust you the most. So basically we'll ask questions like, who are they? First of all, what do you do as a client or as a professional? What do you do for your audience? Who are they? Are they entrepreneurs as well? Or are they just regular consumers? Like what are they? And like how alike are they? How different are they? And then basically find out, okay, what are you willing to spend on these people over the next 12 months? So what's your annual budget? And then we'll punch in a bunch of numbers into our Excel sheet and be like, and I'll just spit out, okay, this is what you should spend on each gift, on each client, blah, 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 blah. Oh, and every plan is completely custom. So it's also kind of a teamwork thing. Like we're going to spit out the first plan, and you can say, yeah, I really like this idea and this idea. This one sucks. Let's replace it with something else. And then at the end, we come together with a final plan.
The challenge, right? You don't want to throw money at the problem, because that really isn't sensitive and careful, right? You want something that's very curated, so it's not about the expense of it; it's the thought that was put into it.
Right. So that's why we're very careful with the plan. So we'll come up with a plan, and then what we'll do is we'll put it together and send it to you, and then you could say these things are great, these things are not, and then at the end of the day, we'll come up with a final plan, and then once you sign off on that plan, that's when we implement. Or, that's when you implement it yourself, or you pay us to implement it. And then you really just have to, if we're doing it for you, then really the only thing you have to know is that we're going to send it out. We'll tell you when it's going out. And you can just follow up with a phone call 2 days after it goes out. And then you will, I love the reactions of people the first time they go calling their client database after their first gifts go out, because it's prospecting like you've never done in your entire life. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe it's like you've almost boiled the water. It's not just the warm leads. They're not just cold leads. I mean, you're dealing with like boiling water. You calling these people like, oh my God, this is amazing. And they're like so receptive to your phone call. And it's so easy and to just talk to them. It's not even an icebreaker. It's like an ice melter entirely.
I think we're going to buy Matthew a microphone for his next gift.
I think I'm back. I'm back.
Back. There he is.
I am back. So no, that's amazing. Like, so do you actually, so you say marketing and appreciation. So do you actually give your clients a timeline on when they should call and when the follow-up call is?
Yeah.
Well?
I tell them to usually call with it around 2 days after 2 or 3 days after the gift is sent out. So like we'll send out the gifts and be like, hey, just so you know, your gifts are due February 12th. So make a phone call around the 14th or 15th just to see how they are and make sure that, and let them know that, you sent them a gift.
Now, is there a rule of thumb on how much to spend on a client based upon how much? Okay. What would that be?
So we usually, we tell people whatever your net income is from that client for the year, spend around 5 to 10% on that client over the course of a year. It's not all in one gift. So like if you have a client that brings in 50, let's say 100 grand for a year, you should be spending $5,000 to $10,000 on that client over 12 months.
Okay. So you have a whole strategy behind it. So you're not just sending one gift and done. There's multiple gifts going out throughout the course of the year.
Yeah. I think 2 to 4 gifts a year is appropriate, because if you're doing it every month, it almost dilutes the importance and significance and the shock and awe, because people start to predict it. It's like, oh, wonder what I'm getting in the mail this month. Like versus what you send it out like, 2 gifts a year where you're doing it every 6 months, or 3 gifts or 4 gifts. It's quarterly or every 4 months or whatever. It's not as predictable, and it's few and far between. It makes a shock and awe. It has a shock and awe factor to it. So that then people are like, wow, this is really cool. And like, obviously we do kind of do the custom wrap job too. So it's like, I don't know like for me, my logo colors are navy blue and like silver. So like when I send gifts, they show up with, professionally wrapped navy blue and silver wrapping paper, but there's no appreciation advocate logo anywhere. It's not about me, but it looks sexy as hell when it shows up, and it's really nice. So like, other people have different color logos, and the wrapping paper will be in their logo color. So like their brand color. So like they can kind of brand it, but it's not really like about them. Like it's just like, it kind of builds the brand. It's like, oh my God, I got the cool purple gift in the mail. It's from, whoever. And it's like they know it's from them because it's got the fancy, cool purple, yellow, or whatever the hell the branding is. But it's kind of a cool way to do things without being like in your face.
So where do you see yourself going next? So you started in real estate. You're running this company right now. What's the big picture? What's the 3.0?
I'm actually starting to get into, and this is just recently. I probably like within the last 30 days or so. Like I've gotten a couple. I mean, I've gotten a ton of interest in the what we do as we're getting bigger. So speaking engagements probably next is where we just kind of go around, start talking to different professional conferences and keynote speaking. So I think that's probably 3.0 for me. That, and obviously to continue to do this. I mean, because this is fun. Like this is an absolute blast. I love putting together these gifts. They look fantastic, and then the reactions that either my clients have or their clients have to what my clients sent them. Like it's just like it's so much fun. I mean, my tagline for my company is better experience for them, more referrals for you. So like it's not only just it doesn't just improve like what we do as professionals. It improves how your customers experience you. So like it's just good for everybody.
Steve, why don't you tell everybody where they can get in touch with you, where they can find Appreciation Advocate on the socials and on the web?
Yeah, so the socials is everything's pretty much the same. To be honest with you, it's Instagram is at Appreciation Advocate. You can go to the website appreciationadvocate.com, or you can just email me directly, which I do check my email fairly often throughout the day. That's just Steve at appreciationadvocate.com.
So Steve, if you had to choose to only pick one gift to send, what would it be?
To who?
To a client.
So that's such a difficult question because I don't know who the client. So like it depends on who the client is. So like one of the rules we have in terms of gifting is know their juice, quote unquote, know their juice. And the juice is like whenever you talk about people or talk about things, there's the gossip. It's like, oh, I want to know the juicy stuff, right? So like what I would want to know, like, so for example, like talking to Luigi today, he spilled a ton of juice today and he has no freaking clue that he did it. Now, like I know all kinds of things. I can assume safely who I know the exact character on Juventus that he doesn't like. I know he's a soccer fan. I know he's got a wife named Tina. I know he's got a cutting board that's phenomenal. Like he's just dripping juice everywhere. So I can do all kinds of cool stuff for him, and he has no idea. So like if I'm doing it for like,
Steve, you know what? I'm gonna just step away for a couple minutes.
Yep.
You and Matt talk about a great gift for me, and then when I be back, you guys will have another time.
Yeah, get the hell out of here. Yeah. So we'll have something in a couple of minutes. But yeah, so like basically like what we talk about knowing the juice. And so like if I'm getting a gift for someone, it's very subjective. It determines, I guess, how much juice do I know about this person, and how can I use that juice to make the fantastic gift. So
what are you sending Luigi?
Oh, putting me on the spot. I've got 30 seconds to come up with a gift. So yes. It would probably be something soccer related. And it would probably include his wife, and it would not be a ticket to a soccer game because that's only one impression. So I just off the top of my head, I would probably do something like that. I wonder what I could do, what resources I could tap into to get him something custom that is Juventus related and something that also includes his wife. And then maybe even somehow tie in or something. We have this other method we call attacking the kitchen, because a lot of families spend a lot of time in the kitchen. So whenever we do give gifts, we do cool things like giving gifts. Hold on. We got these,
cutting board with the name on it.
No, way cooler than that. So like we got this thing called, you ever heard this? It's called a cork pot. So like one of the things is so you can get these things and basically can open a bottle of wine in like a quarter of a second. So you just push this button and it just pops right out like using like CO2. So it's like a show when you open a bottle of wine. It's like everybody who watches it, like we do that kind of stuff, but like all kinds of, I mean, also I know you're Italian, so I know exactly how those people work. So I know how you're wired. So
those people.
I mean, I'm Italian too, so I know exactly how it is. I know exactly how you're wired, Luigi.
Yo, Steve, Italian lives matter, man. Come on.
Yeah, dude. Get the red, white, and green going. So I know exactly how you're wired. So I grew up in that. My family is my grandparents on my mom's side are 100%. My mom's 100%. I know how it is, man. So basically, that's where I go.
It's very loud.
Yeah, if I made Luigi sit on his hands, he would never be able to talk.
I'd be mute.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you just found the perfect gift for me for the holidays. Get me and watch some earplugs. Be perfect.
Actually, I probably should get something for your kids or your wife to basically tie your hands behind your back so you can't talk. I'd shut you up for the rest of the day.
That's assuming we already don't have those, right?
Right. Yeah, that's true. There you go.
Well, Steve, thanks for being here today, man. We want to be appreciative of your time. And we're looking forward to having you back on sometime soon if you want to come back.
Yeah, definitely. I've got all kinds of fun stuff. We can continue the conversation, talk about other funny things that we got going on, gag gifts, all kinds of funny stuff.
And we will not call you in December.
That's good. Actually, I should be available in December, so that's probably the best time.
Steve, thank you. Guys, that's a wrap of the Liquid Lunch Project. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you for listening to the show. And make sure you subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend. We'll see you on the next episode of the Liquid Lunch Project.